Sergeant Gretchen here. Hi, mate. Today's show is going to be about Roman Orlik. He's a Polish tank commander in a tankette. These tanks were not much bigger than a full-size car. So I'm going to do the scenario, and we're going to see if history repeats itself. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to tell you the story in just a moment. The game's played from the Flames of War Blitzkrieg book, 1939-1940. Between the 8th and 11th of September, the cavalrymen attacked the surrounding Germans until the order came to break out to Warsaw. On the 14th of September, the brigade retreated into the Campanios forest, where Orlik accounted for 3 German tanks from the 4th Panzer Division around the village of Brachau. On the 18th of September, Orlik ambushed and destroyed 3 more German tanks, including a Panzer IV, as part of his brigade's attack to capture the village of Stierkow. At dawn the next day, the Germans launched a counterattack. The brigade commander ordered Orlik to attack the flank of the German spearhead using the large gravel pits to the south of the village as cover. As the Germans advanced, Orlik positioned his TKS, or tankette, tank to fire on 2 tanks ahead of the main line and disable them both. After a short gun battle, he captured the crew of another tank, then quickly knocked out a 4th. 3 more enemy tanks then joined the battle, while Orlik knocked 2 of them out. The 3rd pressed the attacks, so Orlik retreated into the gravel pits. When the German tank crew dismounted to search for the little tankette, Orlik judged his moment carefully and attacked the tank at close range, only to find out he was out of ammunition. He beat a rapid retreat to cover, and when he checked a little later, he discovered the German tank sitting abandoned. Orlik's brigade broke through to Warsaw, fighting until its surrender, whereupon Orlik joined the resistance. After the war, he was awarded the Order Virtuti Militaria for his valorous actions. So here we have the Germans, and I'm going to use 2 different platoons of Germans, and then for the 3rd round I'm going to go ahead and combine any of the active ones. That's the first one, and then here's the 2nd platoon. So Orlik attacked 2 different platoons, 2 different days. And you can see he's right there in the woods, 2 of them. Orlik is the one on the right. I know the one on the left has a machine gun, but we're all going to say that they're all 20mm guns. And here's the other 3. And these Germans are supposed to come down the road, over the bridge, and into the town where they believe they're going to be safe. But I do have a T7 here. It's Polish. Another T7 with the machine guns. And over here we got a couple of armored cars with the 37mm cannons. So they're going to take out whoever survives the onslaught of these little tankettes. You can see there's a Panzer III. There's a Panzer 38, I believe, or 35. Hard to tell them apart. And over here you got the Panzer IV. So I would be surprised if the tankettes can knock out the Panzer IV or even the Panzer III. So what happened is that Orlik and his other guy shot, and basically one of the tanks, one of these German tanks bailed, and then these 3 shot, and they got 2 more bails. One of the tanks bailed back in, and the Germans are trying to get as fast as possible into the town. So we're going to keep going. This is the commander in the little Jeep. I want them to cross the bridge before I bring in the other platoon of tanks over there. So it's the Germans obviously don't know where these tankets are shooting from. I might just use. Supposedly they couldn't find them. The Germans were shooting at the woods, not just sporadically. They just didn't know where the fire was coming in from. I mean, can you imagine a Volkswagen-sized tank shooting at you? You wouldn't know where to go. So basically, these tanks have no idea where the shots are coming from. So I'm going to keep it as the way it was in real life. The motorcycle was shot at by this armored car here, and took it out pretty easily, but now his location has been he's gonna be shot this next turn. One of these tankets in this woods here shot twice at that one from here and one from Roman Orlik. He also shot at the Panzer III, and Romans didn't do anything, but one of these other tanks did. It actually killed the tank. We got a couple of here that bailed out. I rolled the bailing number, and these two bailed back in, and that leaves just one tank. I turned it over to the black side, the felt side, because it was shot at and it bailed out again. So two bailouts, the number is going to rise. So now they need a 5 to go back in. So there's a lot of disarray amongst the Germans, but they are still going to keep coming this way. We can move them. He's up on the bridge. This guy is coming over here. He wants to shoot at this guy, see what happens. This guy's trying to get the heck out of Dodge. They don't want to leave their comrade behind either. So I guess for now we're gonna leave it like this. He can't move, so, and they know they're being shot from the woods, so I'm gonna turn them like this. See if they can get a shot off. I don't think so, because in the real life they were just shooting at trees. You're looking at the survivors. There's 3 of them. The one tank was able to knock out this Polish armored car. This fella didn't shoot because he's just got a machine gun. And the tank gets knocked out. Those tanks, they were still bailed, and they knocked them out after the bailing. And then Orlik knocked out that tank. And then this one here was knocked out by one of these other tankettes. So I'm gonna just move these units off the road, and then we're gonna get the other tanks situated here, and then we're gonna have one more final version. So far, it seems like the tankettes are really doing a lot of damage. It says the first round they only shot 2 tanks and killed them, and probably damaged a bunch of other tank vehicles and tanks. But here you can see there's at least 4 tanks, armored car knocked out. Well, we can see right here, Orlik and his little tank buddy, they knocked out that half track. They did shoot at the Panzer IV, but nothing happened. And then this little tank, Panzer I with the machine gun, which is the commander, he just bailed out by one of these. So I'm going to move these tanks forward. He's got to bail back in. It's a 5, he does. So this is gone. They all got to get the heck out of Dodge. So yeah, he's gone. And there's this one, and his last buddy's trying to hurry up. So I'm going to roll for these off camera because it's hard to hold it and roll. It's really difficult for these little tankettes to do a kill shot on these larger tanks. They've all shot. We got just 2 bailouts, that's all we got. And then this tank was shot just prior. So he's on fire. This one's on fire. So these two, they are not gonna leave. They're gonna sit here. They're not gonna cross the bridge yet. So I'll try to bail him back in right now, but I don't know what's gonna happen. This was for the little tank. He's okay now. And then the Panzer IV is still shot out. They're not going back in. It was a 2. So I'm just making it to where they can't pass. It's just one tank anyways. These two pivoted. They're just shooting into the woods. These two guys are shooting into the woods. They don't know where they're shooting. So there you see it. The Germans did a save roll of 1. So 1 plus the 3 side armor is only 4. They rolled a 6, and it would be destroyed. It was already bailed out. So this tank is destroyed now, and you got 1 left there. And that was the last tank yet that actually shot that tank. I had 3 tanks shooting at that thing, and it wouldn't. Let me see. There was 1, 2, yeah, 3 tanks shot at that. The other 2 tried to shoot this other tank. Didn't do anything. So I think history can easily repeat itself. It certainly did here. I don't know what else I could do here. Even if I made a 3rd round like they did in the book, where I took these 3 and added them to these, they're still going to be wiped out. I mean, if these tankettes can destroy a Panzer III and a Panzer IV and a bunch of other little tanks, they're gonna take out the others. I mean, they had so much hidden cover in these trees. Although you look at this game, it's like there's wide open spaces. I could see those tanks, but in reality, it was pretty thick. It was a Polish forest. So Roman Orlik's little tankettes destroyed the tanks just as it was in history. What do I got over there? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 vehicles knocked out. So there's 10 vehicles knocked out, and then they knocked out 1 armored car. These were not very big. They were small. But I love these books. They have tons of information. If I can get to the Polish tank here. Let's see. There is no Polish tank. So here's, they only show the 2 tanks here, the 7 TPs. And they don't show the little tankette for some reason. Some of the German armor. The Panzer IV. I didn't put any Stugs in there because he didn't have any of those in, he wasn't fighting against any of those. And he could have knocked out all these easily. These were nothing. That's the way the German infantry looked. Here's your Polish. Looked a little bit like the Russians. So history did repeat itself today in the back room, my game room. This isn't my game room, this is just where I store some games, but that game table's out in the back. It seemed pretty realistic. I can believe that story where he knocked out those tanks because in this game, once again, he knocked out more tanks than he did in real life. In just this scenario that I did. So that little Polish commander, Orlik, did a fine job. They said he was a superb shooter. The guy apparently could shoot a fly on another tank. I'm just making that up. So some of the collections here, I don't have a tankette here. Because it'd be too small anyways. Wouldn't even be able to see it. All right, watch one of my other shows. I got a few others coming out soon.